According to a recent ESPN report, the Chicago Bulls have been in contact with the Minnesota Timberwolves in regards to acquiring the services of small forward Kevin Martin. Reportedly, the trade would include Mike Dunleavy, youngster Tony Snell, and a 2015 second-round pick. There are multiple upsides to adding Martin to the current Bulls roster, that is 12, plus deep going into the 2014-15 season. Martin, who has a surprisingly high career points average of 17.9 points per game, would add another offensive weapon to a team that was dead last in scoring last season. The Bulls front office has spent much of the offseason adding offensive weapons to this roster in Pau Gasol, McDermott and Nikola Mirotic. The addition of yet another established player on the wing like Martin would solidify the only weak spot in the Bulls' rotation. Including Dunleavy in the trade is a no-brainer. The Bulls have quietly been shopping Dunleavy for quite some time now, but were previously targeting contending teams that needed a rotation shooter. Both Dunleavy and Snell's contracts expire next summer. Snell has a team option, so it's a solid financial move for a Timberwolves team that just recently offered a max contract to Eric Bledsoe. From the Bulls' perspective, I'm not too excited on letting Snell out of Chicago until we know how good he really is. After just 1 year in the league, we are far from knowing what kind of player Snell will be. His improvement from last year to this summer is noticeable, and the Bulls are certainly expecting a big jump in his second season in the league. I know I am. However, that may be the very reason why Minnesota is including him in the reported trade offer, rather than versatile big man Ty Gibson. Although things could obviously change, Snell may be the more coveted player for the Timberwolves in that he is cheaper, younger and potentially has a higher upside. Gibson may be a better fit now, but if they are building for 3 to 5 years down the road, Snell is the better asset. Overall, the Bulls aren't getting a financial break from this possible trade, but would be adding a solid shooter out on the wing, who can play effectively at both the 2 and 3. Martin is a pure scorer when used correctly. Through his first 20 games played last season, he averaged 22.7 points per game. Inserting him into a lineup featuring 3 All-Stars would allow Martin to run off baseline screens and spot up for open threes all season long. Over the past 2 seasons, Martin is shooting 40.9% from long range. On paper, that sounds like a perfect match, but only time will tell.